Hello, my creepy lovelies, and welcome back to the 6th chapter of This Is How I Die. You see, this one's called Let's Party. Let's begin, shall we? Should have already loaded up by now. Oh my gosh, please don't be stupid again. Okay. Soo-young could feel her heart beating in her eyes as she stood at the top of the stairs, staring into the eyes of her mother, who stood sternly in her way. Soo-young cleared her throat and shyly crossed her arms. I didn't expect you home yet. Clearly. Where were you planning to go just now? She looked Soo-young up and down. Especially dressed like that. I'm going to June's to see my friends. Are his parents there? Ma, please can I go? I don't want to be late. If you are just meeting your friends, why does it matter what time you show up? Soo-young sighed heavily and looked to her side. Ma, go change into something appropriate. You're coming to help me at work tonight. Soo-young instantly looked back at her mother with wide eyes. You can't be serious, Ma. Am I sensing attitude? You know what? Yes, you are, because I don't want to go to your stupid job. I'll just say, for me, if it was my mom, the farthest I'll get probably is, you know what? It's depending on how I said it, and if I got farther than that, it would be yes, and the conversation will be done. Let's just say that. Soo-young's mom's jaw dropped in shock. What did you just say? I'm my own person. I have my own life. You have always wanted me to go into the family business. But that's not what I want. Oh, I see. And what is it that you want? That's a trap. To go see my friends. You plan to make a living that way? Soo-young rolled her eyes. You know what I mean. First, don't you roll your eyes at me. And you are such an irresponsible child. Can't think past the moment, so I have to think for you. My grandparents came from nothing and worked hard so that our family would always have something to fall back on. And you want to throw it away. Selfish girl. I'm not throwing it away. One of our family members can work there after you retire. It is meant for you. And your children and your children's children. If I have kids and they want to work there, fine. But if they don't, I won't make them. Soo-young's mom laughed bitterly, and several seconds of tense silence passed before either of them spoke again. What do you plan to do with your life? That's a trap, too. I'm going to go to college with Micha. Micha? Then I assume you will major in partying and further disrespecting your family. Well, joke's on you, Mom, because those two aren't real majors, so ha! That's not fair, Ma. No, you said you don't want to work at our family's business. So what do you plan to do instead? Told you it was a trap, girl. You ain't listening to me. Soo-young and her mother stared at each other in silence for a bit while she thought on her answer. Oh, that shows how awkward it is. Finally, Soo-young threw her hands in the air. I don't know. Oh, really? I haven't figured it out yet. What a surprise, her mother mocked. Here's what I do know. Whatever I do, it'll be my choice. Soo-young's mother approached her. If you don't get upstairs, change, and come help me at work, you'll have to find somewhere else to stay while you try to figure out your life. Ooh. Which is going nowhere as far as I can tell. Soo-young straightened up. Fine. Your house, your rules. She walked past her mom and headed for the door. Soo-young! Soo-young stopped before opening the door, but didn't look back at her mom. I mean what I say. If you walk out that door and go to June's, don't come back. Soo-young felt an ache in her stomach as she held on tightly to the doorknob. Then I'll send one of my friends for my stuff. And with that, she walked out, got in her car, and left for June's. Oof. Ooh. Wait. This is supposed to be June's house, right? It looks more like an apartment complex. Because you guys see the 2 or 3 balconies? Well, it might be like a multi-layered house or whatever. June's house was buzzing with life when Soo-young pulled up the driveway. There were a few other kids from her school standing outside the front and sides of the house, and she could hear others splashing around in the pool in the backyard. Soo-young felt warm when she entered and was greeted with a huge smile by June, who was wearing a silk robe over his clothes like a young knockoff version of Hugh Hefner. That seems to be so popular. You made it! Wouldn't miss it. June jumped when he heard Micha yelling excitedly behind him. She immediately hugged Soo-young. You're here! What did I do to deserve all this attention? Imani walked up with 2 drinks in her hand. Mimi just doesn't think it's any fun to try and sleep with any guys here if she doesn't have to compete for their attention with you. Soo-young laughed and Micha smiled with a shrug. What can I say? I'm competitive. Austin suddenly popped up behind them and draped an arm over June's shoulders. I'd say being competitive is your favorite thing. Next to getting railed by a different guy every hour. Goodness, he's so colorful. June lightly shoved him. Don't be so vulgar. It's not like he's wrong. Soo-young. Soo-young took the extra drink out of Imani's hand and downed it before raising the empty glass in the air and shouting, let's make this a night we won't forever forget. Yeah, that's what they always say in movies before, everybody ends up, They all cheered and headed to the dance floor. They all danced and drank the night away, while June went to go check on the other guests from time to time. Nate came up to June and patted him on the shoulder. You really outdid yourself. Nate looks around at everyone dancing and all the decorations. This really is a great party. Shrugs and smiles. What can I say? We're all going to be off to college next year, so I had to do it up big. Before we all become boring adults. They both laughed. With mortgages, credit card debt, and desk jobs that we absolutely hate. June joked. Except for Austin. Rolls eyes. Oh, right. I doubt he'll ever become boring. Speaking of which, how much do you want to bet that he's either being rejected by a girl, trying to hook up with 2 girls at once, or about to be beaten up by a girl's boyfriend for flirting with her? June thoughtfully tapped his chin. I bet you 2 jello shots that it's all of the above. They both laughed and bumped fists. I'll take that bet. Meanwhile, Soo-young and Imani watch from the side as Micha dances in between the Park twins. Looks like someone's having fun. Oh, she'll be having a lot more fun later, either in the back of their Jeep or in one of the coat closets. Soo-young laughs and sips her drink. Suddenly, Austin comes up to them both while rubbing the side of his face. Oh, let's see which one Nate was right about. What the heck happened to you? Scott Latham happened. That name sounds familiar. He sucker punched me just when I was about to seal the deal with his girlfriend. You're not the victim in this, Austin, just to let you know. You are truly a stellar person, Imani mocked. Not my fault that girls like me. Wait a minute, Sue? Weren't you supposed to hook up with Scott? Oh, I think I remember. Ugh, don't remind me. I danced with him for a bit, and we went to one of the dens to make out. Okay, so no one's the victim in this. I barely got my tongue in his mouth for 1 second before he started bawling like a baby over his girlfriend. I'm talking literal boo-hoo sobs. Imani giggled. That's one way to kill the mood. You're telling me. You want to know another way to kill the mood? Telling a guy that you broke up with your notoriously bad-mannered boyfriend when you really didn't. Scott's girlfriend only came here because she knew he was gonna be here, and she wanted to make him jealous. Or, well, more jealous than he naturally is. Sue, am I drunk? Or did Austin just use a big word? I think he used like 3 big words. I'd say it's both. You're drunk and Austin used a big word. Austin rolled his eyes. Very funny, you two. Well, Sue, since we both got our plans ruined by those 2 losers. I don't. Ugh. You want to swing those mommy milkers my way? I don't feel comfortable having read that. Austin wiggled his eyebrows at her, and it made Imani groan. I should have brought my creep repellent. You mean pepper spray? You know what, Austin? Why not? Both Austin and Imani's jaws dropped as they stared at Soo-young in shock. Are you serious, Sue? You're messing with me, right? Soo-young shook her head and grabbed his hand. I want to see what all the girls keep raving about. She led him out to the dance floor, while Imani just stood there and watched, too stunned to move. Oh my goodness. Finally, Micha came from the dance floor up to Imani. You are missing all the fun. Come dance, Amy. Holds up a finger. In a minute. Okay, what could be more interesting than bumping and grinding with some hotties? Without looking away from Austin and Soo-young, Imani gently turned Micha's face to where they were dancing. Micha stared at them in shock. Oh my gosh. Is that really Sue backing it up on Austin? Uh-huh. We must have entered an alternate universe or something. The Park twins are going to have to wait because I need to see what's going to happen. Soo-young playfully shook her butt at Austin while he pumped his fist in the air and bobbed his head like a chicken to the beat of the music. Soo-young spun around and practically barreled over laughing when she saw Austin's dancing. So these are the moves that drive all the girls wild? Austin nodded and held out his hand to her. And keeps them coming back for more. Okay. Soo-young took his hand and he twirled her around twice, making her laugh as she fell against him to catch her balance. Soo-young rested her hands on Austin's shoulders while he put his on her waist. You can be kind of charming when you want to be. She pointed at him, but don't tell anyone I said that. Austin raised his hands in mock surrender before putting them firmly back on her waist and stepping to the music. You finally noticing why I'm so appealing to the fair sex is safe with me. Soo-young let her head fall back. Okay, I'll find a part when to stop this video because it's getting kind of long. Ooh, I love this song. I'm not a big fan of the Druids, but this song, Superhuman, just turns me to jello. Is that a real thing? Oh, yeah, okay, I'm gonna have to look up Superhuman and the Druid. I'll just look up the Druids and see if that's even a real band. Austin smirked at her. I think that might be the alcohol that's making you feel all warm inside. Soo-young gave him a look. It can be both. They swayed as the song changed from the upbeat tone of Superhuman to a more slow and sensual mix. Uh-oh. It's a slow song. I noticed. Guess that means our dance is over. Soo-young raised an eyebrow at him and moved closer. Says who? I told you I wanted to see what the girls all rave about, and I meant it. Austin's eyes went wide. Really? You bet your abs. Oh, so you have noticed my abs. Please. Me, Emmy, and Mimi have noticed everything about you. We just never told you because we knew you'd get a big head about it. Nate would say that my head can't possibly get any bigger. That's because he doesn't know that your ego has no limits. Austin laughed. All right, Sue. I'll show you my real moves. The ones I say for all the hotties. Ugh. Soo-young smiled and rolled her eyes at his cheesy line before nodding her head for him to go on. Oh. This better not get too inappropriate. Austin turned Soo-young around and ran his hand up the length of her back until he reached her neck. He then pushed her forward so she would bend at the waist, and they moved their hips from side to side at the same time. When Soo-young straightened back up, she brought her hands up and reached behind her to let her fingers caress the back of Austin's head. He ran his hands up the sides of her body and her arms until his hand slid over hers. Sparks began to fly as they looked into each other's eyes. Without breaking eye contact, Soo-young turned around to face him, and Austin's fingers gripped the sides of her hips as he pressed his body firmly against hers and moved to the music. Soo-young inhaled while she lifted her leg, and Austin dragged his hand down her leg until he reached the back of her knee. He then held her leg up against his thigh while she placed her hands on his chest, their lips only an inch away from making contact as the song came to an end. They stood there frozen in each other's arms as they decided whether or not to go further or pull away from each other when Micha and Imani ran up to them on the dance floor. What was that? What Mimi said. Soo-young giggled, put her leg down, and moved away from Austin while he smiled and rubbed the back of his head. Austin was just showing me his signature moves. Imani licked them both up and down. You know what? I'm good. I mean, it's not like a really great place to stop, but this video is like almost at 14 minutes. So I'm going to stop it and we'll do a 1-part, 2-part. So I'll see you guys next time for the second part of the 6th chapter.